Hi, I'm Allie Lane, and welcome to my very first podcast. I'm so excited to have you here, and I'm so excited to make this. I'm filming this December 13th, 2025, and I'm not sure what the time is, but it's in the afternoon. But good afternoon or good morning to all of you, and you're one of the very first people to watch my podcast, and I'm so excited. But today we're going to be talking about choir drama and maybe some other stuff if I get tracked off. But that's just me. But I'm 13 years old and I am starting my very own podcast coming to you live from my very own bedroom. And I hope you enjoy this podcast. Well, it's kind of a talk show, but anyway. And I'm 13 years old talking about all the drama and choir drama and all that stuff at my school. And you guys might not know me or might know me, but this is for listeners and this is for people who like to listen to me talk or just like to listen to people talking in the background of doing their work or whatever. And that's what this is for. Anyway, this choir drama takes place on December 10th, 2025. Our very first winter concert of the school year. And very first concert in general of the school year, but you get the point. And we've been practicing our choir music ever since the very beginning of the school year. So, let me do some math here. 5 months. And I'm very sad to say this and frustrated. No one knew their music. I'm over exaggerating there a little bit, but barely anyone knew their music. And by barely I mean the baritones, but they never locked in. They never did. But anyway, as of today, there's no more drama going on. Or so I thought. Anyway, our choir concert began, and it was very normal. Or so I thought. It was all normal. Until, while the other groups were rehearsing, everyone was talking. By everyone, I mean a lot of people. Mainly the baritones. It's always the baritones. I don't know why. I think it's common sense to not talk while other people are performing and while other people are rehearsing, but that's just me. Anyway, and everyone else was talking and just talking about random shit that I don't even understand to this day. But I'm gonna get back to him later, so just think about it. But there's this guy. I'm not gonna spill names, that's a policy I have for myself. And unless it's celebrity, but this man will never become a celebrity after this. But anyway, he harassed 4 women. At least I think it's 4 women. And and everyone witnessed this, by the way. And no one really likes him, by the way. No one likes him, or at least barely anyone does. And so that's just there. And I don't know what's wrong to me. It's the seasonal allergies, I swear. And then when we got on stage to perform, everything was going fine until our very last song. I had a speaking part opening our show because you guys know I love to talk a lot, and I was opening our show. And I would show footage of that, but I'm too lazy to edit this video. So this is what you guys are gonna get. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, our very last song, it was going fine until our choir director missed the count off for all of us, not just the altos, not just the sopranos, not just the baritones, all of us. We all missed the count off, and we sung too late, and we got off too late, and that caused everything to fall apart. By the way, this was all filmed on a cheap iPad on the recording studio up above us. Well, not right above us, but like in the audience, above the audience. You get it? Okay. And, talking has been taking a toll on me. This is my 3rd take of the day, okay, guys? Give me a break. And, after our concert, I looked at my friend. We knew we were cooked, okay? We thought, or at least we thought, our choir director was gonna scold us the very next day. That day was a Wednesday, by the way. October 10th was a Wednesday. And then the next day was Thursday, which means we had school. And the next day, we had school. And back to the guy I was talking about earlier who harassed women. We told our choir director about him. What did she do? Absolutely nothing. And that just pisses me off. Because you have 5 girls telling you this man harassed multiple women and said and called them horrendous, horrible things. And you're over here not doing anything about it. It's your job. What are you doing? And to top it all off, she knew we did bad on our choir concert. The altos, we were too loud. The baritones were off key. They were down the octave one, but basically same notes as soprano, but just down the octave. And the sopranos, some of them were going too high, and some of them they came in too early. And our choir director knew that, and she watched the footage off the iPad that was taken, and she said we did great. I don't mean to sound rude, but that was probably the worst choir concert. I've been in choir and performing for years. That was probably the worst one. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just playing with my glasses. I got new glasses, but I'll get to that later. I don't know what's wrong with me, guys. But anyway, and it's your job to tell us what we did wrong. And we watched the footage, and it looked, and I'll admit this, it looked better on the iPad than it did in person. And hardly anyone noticed, which is good on the most part, because no one noticed that we did bad. Because, like, no one's listened to our songs before, besides us and our choir director. But still, it sucked. And our choir director tried to act like there's nothing wrong when there obviously something is. And then, and I hate when there's drama in our choir group chat. We have a choir group chat, by the way. We discussed all of this in our choir group chat and Snapchat. And I hate when there's drama going on inside of choir, because choir is supposed to be a welcoming place for kids to sing and for people to sing and enjoy. And I hate when there's drama in it, and because that's not how we represent choir. That is not how we do this, okay? And that just makes me so sad, because, like, oh my goodness, but it makes no sense. It never does. I don't understand why people start drama. Like, you're allowed to have emotions. You're allowed to feel negative emotions. I get that. But I don't understand why drama exists in choir. And some days I don't want to perform, or rehearse. I get that. Sometimes I don't. But, I don't take it out on others, or at least I try not to. Whew. Anyway, the next day, but that's all the choir stuff. But we're gonna get off track a little bit, because I want to talk about my glasses. I got these glasses yesterday. I'll show you my old ones, but a few years ago, I got diagnosed with astigmatism, and my old glasses were pink, and I had rainbow ones too. These were my old glasses. Interesting. But my eyesight definitely got worse over time, and it hurts when I put them on, because I've been wearing my new ones all day. But these are my new ones. And these are my second pair of new ones. They are plastic. And, well, except for the little lines. But other than that, they are completely plastic. And, now I'm going to talk about the amazing the amazing digital circus. So, if you guys never watched the show, or you haven't seen the new episode, please do not continue watching or skip over this part, because this contains spoilers. Now, after I got my glasses yesterday, I watched the new episode. I was one of the very first people to watch it. I genuinely was shocked, and I was crashing out. If you guys have my TikTok, I'll tag it in the description below. If you guys have my TikTok, then you know how much I was talking about it last night. Last night, it was a crazy night for me because of that. Like, I made so many theories up, and some of them came true. Like, because I knew Kane was able to control other people's minds. And I knew, because the stupid sauce, the name, name thingy, how people can't remember their name once they enter the circus. Yeah. And then the vegan thingy, how they, the fifth episode where they voted for everyone, for Jax to be vegan, and that worked. But apparently Kane couldn't control other people, But no, he made him vegan. But there's also another thing. When it was at the very end of the episode, and it said, all players leave the game, red for no, blue for yes. I think Kane forced Jax to press the no button because he didn't want them to leave. And he wanted the cast to forget about everything, their names, everything. And he wanted them to stay. That's the whole purpose the Avengers exist, is so they would stay. But we all know they don't want to stay, and they're all going insane and people abstracting. So, obviously, no one wants to stay in the circus. But Kane refuses to let that happen. So, and it sucks because, but I'm going to go more detail about this another episode. About the amazing digital circus and my theories. I'm going to go on it another episode. But that's just a little thing right there. But the episode was really good, but it did leave us off with a shock. You could say it left off with a bang, but that was corny. But it was really good. I recommend watching the show in general if you have not watched it. Or if you skipped over this part and now you're here, please go watch the show. I really recommend it. And, it's an amazing show. Amazing cast. Amazing community fandom. Well, that's a little exaggerating, but you'll like the show. Trust. And, and I got told I looked like Pomni for whatever reason, like human Pomni. I kind of see it. But I don't know. But my favorite character is Zubul, because, I don't know, I just really like Zubul and Kinger. Those are my favorite characters. But that's just the amazing digital circuit. Digital. I keep saying digital. Like, diddled. Digital circus. I recommend the show. Go watch it on your own free time. And it has 7 episodes as of today. And next episode we reach March 20th, which is early 2026. I predict the show will end mid-2026 because there's supposed to be 9 episodes. And we have 2 more episodes to go. So, I hope it ends good. Maybe not. But we never know how it's going to end. We never know. But, maybe it'll end good. Maybe it'll end bad. Maybe Kane will actually go insane. Maybe we'll learn new lore about different characters. And here's my theory. I think Abel is a real person. Okay? Okay. I'll go more deep into that later, next episode. I know I keep saying that and I keep going on to it. But I'll go into that in a deeper episode. Why did I look at the camera like... But anyway, go watch it. Amazing show, amazing cast, amazing community, amazing fandom, amazing everything. Anyway, going on with my weekend and my week. I watched the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Amazing movie. I'm not gonna spoil it because that's also very new. But but they're just feeding us this month because now we got the amazing digital circus, and we got Five Nights at Freddy's. So here we are. And I would say it's a very good movie, and I recommend you go watch it. And I love Five Nights at Freddy's. And in case you couldn't tell in my background, I love Five Nights at Freddy's. Recommend, go watch the movies, read the books, play the games, do whatever. And my favorite character / animatronic is the marionette or the puppet. I know the puppet and the marionette have multiple names, so like... But I did dress up as her for a school spirit day. I dressed her up for a school spirit day once, for Twin Day, and I was matching with my stuffed animal. I don't have her right now, but I'm matched as the marionette for school. And some of you guys know it because you guys go to my school, but that's just that. Anyway, and today, it's a very snowy day outside and very cold. And today, I got a new watch from my grandma, Crystal. I don't know if she watches my videos. I don't know if she's gonna watch my videos, but if you are watching my videos, I love you. And she also gave me this really cute, pretty ring. I'm not wearing it right now because I don't want to damage it, but look at that. It fits perfectly on my middle finger. I'm gonna wear it for the rest of the video now. For the rest of this talk show / podcast. But I love my grandma. And yeah, I love my family more than anything. But I think that's gonna be the it. What? I think that's going to be it on today's podcast. I know y'all expected it to be like 30 minutes. I was expecting it to be over maybe 30 minutes, but I have nothing else better to talk to, and I'll talk about the amazing digital circus next podcast. I'm Allie Lane, and you're watching my very own podcast and my very first talk show. Thank you for watching. You mean the world to me. Bye.